And for Pennsylvania Senator Rick Santorum, specifically named by ISIS. Yes, you heard right. ISIS terrorists singling out Senator Santorum in a propaganda magazine, describing him as a crusader and publishing full-page photos and quotations titled, "In the Words of the Enemy." And now Senator Santorum joined us. Good evening, sir.
Thank you, Greta. Good to be with you.
Why do you think you were called out by ISIS?
I told the truth about them. And it's really interesting when you have a president, an entire administration, who goes about and creates this really web of falsehood about who the enemy that we're dealing with in the Middle East, who ISIS is. And I went and used their own words. It very clearly stated what their intention is, laid it right out there to the American public. They quoted from a couple of speeches that I gave, and they put it right back out there. And they're owning that. Most Americans know who they are. It's just we have an administration that refuses to identify them. And the problem with that is they're developing policies based on a false premise, and that means that, as I said in that article, they're going to get stronger, not weaker, because we're not doing what's necessary to defeat them.
Well, when you see them sort of reaching into the United States and plucking out the names of Americans, whether it's some military people who have been on some of their lists before, or whether it's your name, it feels a lot closer to home. There's been a lot of sort of thought, whether it's over there, it's happening over there. It feels way too familiar when they start calling out people you know.
When they sent me the link, a friend of mine sent me the link and saw it. You don't expect to see yourself in an ISIS publication, but at the same time, we have to recognize they understand us. They know what's going on here in America. They know what this president is doing to mislead the American public, and they're counting on that. But they're going to try to embolden their people to join them to fight a country that is not fighting back. That's the point. America is not fighting them and not taking them to task, and they're trying to take advantage of that opportunity.
Well, every night I sit here and the map gets bigger of the red spots of where these terrorists are. You've got a situation where they put a bomb, ICE puts a bomb in a church on Easter Sunday. You've got a 14 and 16-year-old who have been arrested in Britain, which isn't that unusual. You've got a situation where a U.S. senator is named in one of their publications. And I could go on and on and on and on. This is just growing. This isn't getting better at all.
And it won't get better until we delegitimize who they are. What they have claimed.
What does that mean?
They believe they are making a claim to the Sunni Arab world, Sunni Muslim world, that they are the next legitimate caliphate, which means they hold ground, they are going to expand that ground, and that they are calling all Muslims, all jihadists, to come and join their fight there in Syria and Iraq, but also around the world. And until we take that land back from them, until we destroy that holding of land and that caliphate, they will continue to have the ability to attract others.
How do you do that?
I've said it before. We need to put boots on the ground. I'm not saying an invasionary force, but General Jack Keane here, I think on Fox, suggested 10,000 troops to help the Kurds, to help the Sunni Iraqis. I think we need to get Iran out of there. We do not need to let Iran have greater influence in Iraq and in Syria. We need to have our people there working with the Jordanians who want to defeat ISIS because of acts taken against them, plus 1.2 million Syrians within the Jordanian border now as refugees. There are lots of players in the region that if we put boots on the ground, we got serious about a military campaign from the air, we could coordinate attacks to begin to take back ground and delegitimize this caliphate.